Hello and welcome to Southall TV. Welcome to the program New Day Living Life. My name is HARPAL and I'll be your host today. If any of you wish to contact us on the TV show, please give us a ring on 0208 707 3227. That's 0208 707 3227, or on our Facebook. We can leave a message on facebook.com/Southall TV, or you can ring in, or you can email in at ronniemalik@southalltv.com. Today we're going to be talking about Ayurvedic. The person I've got in front next to me, she is a qualified Ayurvedic practitioner, Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery, a herbal medical masters, teaches yogas and a number of things. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to my guest for today, Dr. Ashish.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you for inviting me here today. And I would love to talk about Ayurveda, and I ask everybody to come in with their questions, any question they have in mind regarding natural medicine. And we know that Ayurvedic medicine is the oldest system. We know it's proven. So anybody who has got any health queries, or if they want to study Ayurvedic medicine or want to become a therapist, then please call us. Yeah,
guys. Yeah. So if anyone's got any questions, please use our Facebook medium, or you can actually ring in, and Dr. Ashish will be here and she will be taking your calls live. So feel free. So we're going to start off with tell me a bit about how do you get into the Ayurvedic?
Long story, but I think I just was destined to become a doctor. I always wanted to become a doctor, so that was as far as I've known myself, I wanted to become a doctor. And then I didn't go the route of medicine, and I just ended up with Ayurvedic medicine. And I was destined to do it because up till that point I didn't know that Ayurvedic medicine existed. I didn't know myself.
For those who are new to the understanding and those who are not too sure, what is Ayurvedic? Please just, in a nutshell, what is Ayurvedic?
So Ayurvedic medicine is Indian medicine, which developed in the part of what we know now as India. So, but it will, if we go historically back, it will include all India, Pakistan, all of that region. It developed somewhere there. We don't have clear records of that.
Sure.
But we have written records of all the books that we have, and these are the oldest healthcare books that we have in the world. And Ayurvedic medicine comes out of Vedas. So Ayurveda means, Ayur means life, and Veda means knowledge. So it's knowledge of life, it's science of life, which means that how do you live your life in day to day.
Okay.
So it's not only about that when you're sick you go to an Ayurvedic practitioner, you also go to an Ayurvedic practitioner to live longer and healthier.
So what kind of people come to you?
In this country, because I practice in the UK, so in this country it's mainly women. So the first phone call is made by a woman, then maybe children will come and the partners come and husbands come. But it's mainly women because for some reason they are the main users of complementary and alternative medicine. So I work in the field of fertility, as we were discussing.
Sure.
So in that, it's mainly 30-35 plus women who are mainly coming to my clinic.
So what kind of treatment or support do you provide in fertility?
So fertility is a particular niche area. There is support that is needed for in terms of treatments. There is support needed in terms of taking herbal medicines internally. There is support needed in terms of keeping them calm and relaxed going through their fertility journey. So it's a number of things.
The question I've got, I'm playing a bit of devil advocate here. Why not go down the tried-tested scientific route with pharmacies of medicines out there? Why go down the Ayurvedic route and not down the route that has been going on for many years?
So are you telling me that Ayurveda is not tried and tested?
I'm just telling you from being a scientist myself. Why?
Yes. Well, we have empirical evidence which is over 5,000 years old. Yeah. So all those things, when we are testing them now in this day and age, we are finding that things that were written that many years ago, they are true even in this day and age. So the point is, we can see what modern medication is doing to people. There are far too many side effects, and what people are coming again and again back to an Ayurvedic practitioner's clinic or a herbalist, because I'm a herbalist as well, is that they don't want to use allopathic medication. They want to use something which is natural, which doesn't have that many side effects. Even if it doesn't take away the thing completely, even if it doesn't cure them 100%, they are happy because overall their quality of life is better.
So, side effects. People talk about that in medicine, and I know if someone's got cancer, they go through chemotherapy and they lose a lot of their good cells, hair, follicles, everything from there. What's a bad side to Ayurvedic medicine?
Okay, when anything which is therapeutically active will have an action and reaction both. But when we talk about real bad reactions, there are not that many. I mean, you can say, for example, if somebody is really taking overdose of turmeric, then they can probably, you have to really take, I don't know, to eat and have side effect from turmeric, you'll have to probably take 1 kilo or 2 kilos of turmeric, which is going to be physically impossible. Whereas when we take drugs, medical drugs, then the side effects are far quicker and far too many side effects. Whereas with herbal medicine, there are effects, and I always say go to a practitioner so that you are supervised. Do not take even herbs over the counter.
Okay. So it's all about that quality of control.
Of course.
And having someone like yourself who's a practicing professional there to guide and help you. So in terms of medicine, is this part of the NHS?
So far, no. There are some awakened NHS doctors who have taken their own initiatives, and they recommend their patients that why don't you go and see a herbalist or inquire more and do something else, where they find themselves really helpless, that they cannot help that patient, or patient is really asking for something else, then they might advise. But I think we are talking about really small numbers, but it's not available on NHS.
And why is that? Any reason?
Oh, that's a big debate. Going into the whole pharmaceutical side, I can go on and on.
Sure.
But I think it's just that we are not realizing the importance of preventative stuff, preventative medicine.
You talk that it's been going on for over 5,000 years, and there's quite a lot of rejuvenation of things such as yoga.
Yes.
I know there's a new therapy for laughter therapy, and that's all part of bringing out the non-chemical based medicines.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on such practices?
They're all wonderful. They are part of Ayurveda. Yoga is part of Ayurveda. Vastu is part of Ayurveda. Ayurveda also does medical astrology. So you look at somebody's natal chart and kind of tell them that what you will be more predisposed to. So there are so many things which are part of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is not only herbs, we use minerals as well. And Ayurveda also use alchemy. So there are metallic preparations which are used. They are not used in UK because they're not allowed, but in India they're widely used.
So if you probably had someone come up to you and goes, I don't believe in your mumbo jumbo.
Oh, many.
What would your response be? And there might be some viewers out there who are watching in who will say, I don't believe in Ayurvedic, it's all pieces of paper and everything from there. How do you talk to or tell our viewers and put their mind to ease?
Okay, I would say go and do research, yes. Do check out, you must check out the practitioner that you are going to see. So you should ask them their credentials as well, whether they're completely fully trained or not. Yeah. And also, I mean, you cannot, if somebody is just being kind of opposing you just for the sake of it, fine, they can do that. But there is enough evidence to prove the efficacy of Ayurvedic treatments, Ayurvedic medicines. It's just that that knowledge is not very widely available outside India. So we have a number of, so many journals we can check and look and see that they are doing trials after trials on all the Ayurvedic drugs and treatments. So if somebody really wants to look deeper, then they can. If somebody really wants to oppose it, then it's their choice. They're free to use medical, allopathy is all over the place.
So, in terms of what's the difference between a therapist and a practitioner?
Yes, I would like to make that clear. Most of the people you will see are therapists. So, therapist is somebody who is not allowed to diagnose and prescribe herbal remedies.
Mm-hmm.
So, they can do therapies, which are body therapies, massages and treatments.
Mm-hmm.
We also have certain therapies, for example, one of our treatment, which is a big detoxifying treatment called Panchkarma. So, they are also not allowed to use certain parts of Panchkarma like colonic cleansing that we do. So, therapists are limited in what they can do, and they should always have a supervision of a practitioner, or they should always have a link up with a practitioner who can then advise about any recommendation in terms of herbs. And practitioners like myself, or we also call them physicians, we also call them doctors, are the ones who are qualified, studied Ayurveda for 5 years, 5.5 years, and then they're allowed to prescribe you medications internal, they're allowed to use all the therapies internal and external.
5 years is a long time. How long was your journey?
It's the same, it's 4.5 years degree,
Mm-hmm.
and then in my time it was 5 years degree and then 6 months internship. And now it's 4.5 years degree in India and 1 year internship, which you have to do in dispensary.
So you studied in India?
I studied in India. I studied Ayurveda in India.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I came here, then I studied herbal medicine. I did masters in herbal medicine as well, which is herbal medicine of this country.
And how long was your experience in herbal? How long did it train for you to train now?
So herbal medicine is 3 years degree,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did masters, which was a couple of years distant learning course which I did in Glasgow.
So you spent touching over 10 years just on this path there.
I have.
That's some dedication there, isn't it?
Fully dedicated to Ayurveda. I think I'm born for doing Ayurveda, but it does take that. It's a journey for practitioner themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start on this path of Ayurvedic medicine, even if you just start to become a therapist initially, then you slowly find yourself going inwards and inwards and inwards, and there'll be another aspect that you want to include, and there'll be another aspect that you want to include, and you find that you become more and more in tune with yourself, and that's how you start to become more in tune with your patients. So there is no way out. I think it's, once you're in, you're just going more and more in.
Yeah, I'm just going to say thanks to Kiran Virk and Lovi L. Singh for liking our page. We can quite questions in. A question that I've got from Sunita, she's in Southampton. She wants to talk about blood circulation. She goes, she's got low blood circulation. She's had tests done and everything, but nothing has affected. She does yoga, but she just wants to know a bit of your expertise on blood circulation. Do you mind just talking about that?
I can talk a little bit general because, as I said before, I'm going to keep repeating that. Please go and see a local practitioner or connect with somebody who is nearer to you so that they can really assess your full case.
Okay.
So, blood circulation, as we know, there is some people who suffer from Raynaud's disease. There is circulation issues, so she might have kind of undetected, that as well. Or some people just generally have very cold hands and feet, or certain parts of the body very, very cold, and you find that circulation is not going very well. One of the remedies that she can use very easily is ginger. So fresh ginger, you can make ginger infusion, which is just grating fresh ginger in warm water. You can do that. Or I normally tell my patients to make ginger oil.
How do you make ginger oil?
So you grate fresh ginger, you take any oil, olive oil, virgin olive oil or almond oil or sesame oil. So you put ginger in that. So take about inch by inch piece, grate it, put it on a water bath. So you have a big pan full of water and you put another pan in it with the oil and the ginger in.
So you submerge it in water?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you simmer it, cover with a lid, simmer it for about 7-8 minutes, 10 minutes, and your ginger oil is ready.
And what do you do with the ginger oil?
So ginger oil, you rub it on your, the underside of your feet.
The sole?
Yeah, the soles of your feet and on your hands as well. And if you find any particular part of your body, for example, some people find their back is very cold, so you can rub on your back as well, especially during winter season when circulation is more of an issue. Then you can just rub on those areas and sleep with it.
Okay.
It's a simple method. Try it. I would love the person who has asked a question to come back and let me know how she felt.
I'm sure our viewers will, also, Nancy Sunita, if she listen to that, try the ginger infusion oils. And yeah, another, just going forward, what are the principles and philosophies of Ayurveda? Why attract me to Ayurveda? Convert me. I'm a man of science, so convert me to Ayurveda.
Well, it's not just Ayurvedic science, but Ayurveda say that your body is a microcosm. There is a macrocosm, there is a universe. We are part of small part of that whole universe. Yeah. If it's hot outside, you're going to feel hot. Why? Because you're connected.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's cold, we are going to feel cold. If it's windy, we are going to feel accordingly. So whatever is happening in the universe, certain things are very obvious. Certain things we do not understand how they affect us. But all the planets have an effect on us. You know, people have effect of the moon on their moods and what happens, especially with women, what happens to their menstrual cycle as well. So Ayurveda says that we are part of this whole universe. And whatever happening outside is happening within our body. And our body is best healthy when it's in balance. And we can keep it in balance when we are living almost therapeutically every day. Yeah. So you get up at the right time, you're eating at the right time, you're eating the right kind of food, and going through all that every single day is the best way, or you can call it like living preventatively. Yeah, where you are not mindlessly eating, not mindlessly drinking and sleeping whenever you think you can sleep. So that's the philosophy of Ayurveda, and it also talks about, we have body types in Ayurveda, so we call them doshas. So like you must have heard about personality types, yeah?
Yeah, I've had a few of them in my day and age.
Yes. So we have those personality types as well, where people have certain predispositions towards certain things.
You mentioned eating is a big thing, and connecting and outside from there. How does eating affect Ayurveda?
How does eating affect Ayurveda?
Or how does it affect the body, and how is it? Because I know a lot of people are vegans. Some are vegetarians. Some eat meat on certain days and not other days. And just incorporating in terms of Ayurveda, how does eating affect individuals?
So Ayurveda says if your food is good, you don't need a doctor, and if your food is bad, doctor will be of no use. Yeah.
It's a powerful statement there, isn't it?
Yeah, really powerful. So diet is a huge part of Ayurveda or any traditional medicine. Without getting your diet right, you cannot live your life healthy. It's just not possible, and people are suffering from more digestive issues than anything else, but it's just that they don't know.
Quite a lot of it is in this country as well. Digestion is always a big problem.
Yes.
With irritable bowel syndrome,
it's
on
huge.
the increase as
it's
well.
Huge, yes.
What would you say for someone whose digestion is not as active, or it's not as comfortable as it should be?
So digestion has to be right. In our treatment, or in Ayurvedic treatment, or even herbal medicine treatment, we start from the gut. So always treat gut first, because also when you're taking herbal medicines can only be digested very well when your digestion is working well. And working well means the food that you eat is digested in a certain amount of time, and you pass stools, you are not constipated, you pass urine regularly as well. And that Ayurveda says everything comes from stomach. So all kind of medical conditions originate from stomach.
Well, there is even a medical link between the brain and the stomach, and the brain being the second. Sorry, the stomach
means the second brain.
It's quite interesting in terms of how Ayurveda starts with the stomach, and where does it go from there?
Well, it says, for example, people suffering from arthritis, the first thing we'll treat is their digestion.
Okay.
So people suffering from any autoimmune condition will treat their digestion. Digestion has to be treated in every single medical condition. So it's getting your digestion right, so that all your enzymes are working well. The food that you're eating, you are digesting well, you're absorbing that food very well, and you can take that nutrition, whatever, for example, if you have eaten an apple, you can only, it's Ayurveda says it's not just that you are what you eat, you are what you absorb. So you can eat the best food in the world, but if you're not absorbing very well, you're not going to have any nutrition from it.
So if someone comes up to you and goes, I only eat organic products or fresh products, and what are your thoughts on those kind of products? Should someone be eating more organic products compared to non-organic products?
This is my personal view, but I have done a bit of research around that. Is organic food is the best, but if organic food has flown from thousands of miles, then the best is if you can find a local farm.
Okay.
Even if it's not organic, most of the local farms are fairly good in reducing the number of chemicals that they use, and you can find a local farm which is not yet certified organic, because certified organic is quite a long, tedious process. So some farms are almost organic in the sense that they don't have certification, but they are organic, and there are plenty of them around, and you can get that food. So I always say, if you can't get organic, get the local farm produce. That's the best.
So yeah, so eating fresh, eating healthy.
Yeah.
So what about the mind? How's the mind working in Ayurveda?
You're interested in mind, yes?
One of my specialities is the mind. So.
Yeah, so Ayurveda has its own huge, section on Manas Roga, we call it. So everything to do with the mind. And of course, if you will look deeper into it, and I can send you studies, you can check on those. It goes back to those basic, what things have to be done correctly, that there should be relaxation, how mind should be thinking, how there should be counseling, for example, is a huge part of my consultation or any Ayurvedic consultation, how the patient comes, their mindset. Yeah? If patient's mindset is not correct, you can tell them anything in the world, they will not start. Yeah.
It's one of the things with being a practitioner, is the patient has to be ready for any treatment to fully work.
Exactly.
If the patient's not ready, so most people with Ayurvedic, and I've talked to a number of people, they say it takes a long time. It's painstakingly long. What's your views on Ayurvedic treatment and the length of treatment?
Well, that's not true. But Ayurveda works best probably for chronic conditions. What do you mean by, what do you mean by chronic conditions? Conditions which have been ongoing for much longer, which are not few days. For example, fever, you have it for 2-3 days, and then it goes. That's called an acute condition. But chronic is something which is going on for few weeks, few months, and then we have very old conditions which go on for years sometimes. So Ayurveda, because I talk more in relation to what is happening in UK, then we see more patients with chronic conditions. But to say that it works slowly is really not true. But it works differently for sure, because it asks you to look at your diet, look at your lifestyle, look at your mindset, look at your exercise, look at your drinking and social habits. So it asks you to look at all of those. You cannot just take an Ayurvedic pill and only do that and not change anything else.
So it's a big drastic lifestyle change.
So it's a holistic approach, and that's why it takes sometimes a little longer. But if we have to compare between modern medication, allopathic medicines and Ayurvedic, then Ayurveda has got a better track record in terms of treating chronic conditions.
I know there's been a number of people coming off doing quite a lot of yoga, and a number of people such as Baba Ramdev have been quite instrumental in his own little journey going forward. I'm just wondering, how is it becoming this popular thing with most Bollywood stars and Hollywood stars going to tantrics and all these other places and seeing these swamis? It's becoming a bit hocus pocus, isn't it?
Baba Ramdev, I don't want to talk personally about him as such.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the interest in yoga is, for sure, it's a good thing. Yes, some people are only using it as an exercise, which it isn't. It is much more than an exercise regime. But it's a good start, I would say that. If you're interested in yoga, at least you're going to, even if you're going to gym to attend a yoga class, it's still a good step in a good direction rather than doing nothing. But yes, it must not be only what we call a fad, only a fashion statement. You know, for example, there are many treatments, Ayurvedic treatments, which are, you know, if somebody goes to a spa and have those treatments, at least it's much better than using any chemicals.
Sure. Well, guys, thank you for looking at the program. Just to let you know, if you've got any questions, any comments, you can add or message us on facebook.com/Southall Television. If you need to call us or give us a ring on 0208 707 3227, it's 0208 707 3227. We can go for a break now for a few messages, so we'll see you on the other side of the show. Take care.
Awakening is an event that allows people to see the real reason why they're experiencing challenges on a day-to-day basis. My favorite part of the awakening is when people realize how much their destiny is in their hands. Awakening is a platform where you come and connect with people and understand how you might not be alone going through the family issue or the work issue or the relationship challenge. And by connecting with real people, having a real conversation, we can really create real change. Decision creates destiny.
Hilarious.
Wonderful.
She's the most beautiful woman in the world.
Chocoholic.
Compassionate. Always busy.
Fun, such good fun.
Loving.
Beautiful smile.
Funny. Always funny.
Stubborn.
So embarrassing.
A very special person.
Selfless. Strong.
Tired.
Always bloated.
So tired.
Struggled to eat.
She always used to be full up.
She just often said, I don't feel right.
I wish I'd known.
I miss her. She's coming home today.
Ovarian Cancer Action has created the first dedicated scientific research centre in the UK, determined to find a cure.
With your help, all your sisters, daughters, grandmothers, wives and mums can keep on doing what only they do best.
Ovarian cancer, those words still haunt me. So please, help Ovarian Cancer Action continue their life-saving research so that others like me have a fighting chance.
To make a difference to families like these, we need your help now. Whether you want to help us by sharing the symptoms with other women, raising funds for our research and awareness work, or volunteering your time, working together, we can save lives.
And welcome back to New Day, New Life. My name is Harpal, I'm the host here. Today we're talking about Ayurvedic with my colleague here today, Dr. Anish. I just want to say quick shout outs to a few people. Deepak Lakhani, thank you much for your likes. Anwar Javed, Anwar Avtar Ratan Tara as well. And Deep Pal Singh ji, thank you much, Paman Singh, for your comments here. Just going to go back to continuing from there. We've had another question for you. A person says she's been trying to lose weight for a long period of time. She tries a number of diets and everything from there, nothing's worked. What advice would you give to her?
Again, the disclaimer is please go and see a practitioner. But there are few things that she can do really to look at the lifestyle. It's not just the amount of food that she is eating, it's the times of the food, times of the day. So what time is she having breakfast, she or he having breakfast, lunch, dinner. And also what I normally suggest, sorry.
It's all right.
So what I normally suggest according to Ayurveda is you can have good amount of breakfast, really good lunch and the least amount of dinner. And if you have these timings of 8 o'clock breakfast or a little earlier, 12, 12:30 lunch and 6 latest for dinner. If you just do that, you will start to lose weight. And depending on how much the weight is, you have to give it realistic time to, turn it around.
Let me just turn that around for you. Someone has breakfast 8 o'clock in the morning, lunch at 12:30. They're still at work at 6. By the time they get home, they're looking at 7. By the time they put food onto a table, you're looking at 8, half 8, 9 o'clock sometimes. What do you say to those people who physically can't eat at 6 o'clock?
If somebody is really committed to their health, and also if weight is an issue or certain medical condition is really an issue and they have to turn things around, then what I would suggest is have good amount of lunch, have a good healthy snack in between when they get a tea break, and eat on the way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because diabetes is on the rise in the UK.
Absolutely huge.
Diabetes and obesity is a huge epidemic at the present moment.
Yep.
What would you, obviously not advise, but suggest to people who've got diabetes and it's either type 2, which is hereditary? What would you say to them, or what solutions would you give to them?
So there are a number of things in Ayurveda they can do, and it's managed fairly well when it comes to Ayurvedic treatments that people can do even on a daily basis. But yes, one has to look at the white sugar consumption, how much refined sugar they are taking. But it's not only a sugar issue. There are people who do not eat any sugar, but they still have this issue. So they have to look at the kind of food that they're eating, and also slow releasing sugar foods. So a lot of fiber is needed in the diet as well. By fiber, it's fresh fruits and vegetables, and mainly vegetables. A lot more vegetables are needed in their diet so that the release of sugar is not that high and they can maintain. But diabetes can be fairly managed in Ayurvedic treatments.
So what kind of foods should someone who's diabetic be eating a lot more of, eating bits of, and not eating as much of?
So again, it will depend, really will depend and it differs from person to person.
You talk about white sugar, but sugar is pretty much in everything, even bread.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's why you have to look at all the choices for the food that you're making. You can make your own bread. When it comes down to really changing your life drastically, something such as diabetes or anything for which you have to be dependent on medication for long term, I would make my bread.
Well, it's one of those things most people do say, don't eat as much carbs, so potatoes, pastas and breads is something that's a staple diet. But it's part of the key ingredients. The majority of people either have a pasta or a sandwich for lunch. So it's like, what alternatives would you suggest?
There are alternatives in terms of the kind of breads that you can have. There are a number. There is rye bread, there is seeded bread, there is homemade bread. You can make bread from lentils. So one has to become really creative in what one wants to do as long as you want really good health.
We talked about Ayurveda and we're talking quite a lot. What age, because would someone benefit from Ayurveda?
All ages, I would say. I see from little babies to older people. when you talk in terms of statistically, which people mainly walks through clinic more are 30 plus, 35 plus.
It normally is one of those things they leave it to last minute when the illness or whatever they've got on them is they're realising. But what preventive mechanisms can you suggest to people, or what therapies could you say to people to look into and do their own research on?
Yeah. I mean, there are a number of things people can do. We can first need to look at your diet. In Ayurveda, we say to look at diet, sleep, and to restrict ourselves from certain things. So, what foods are you eating? The times of the food, the quantity of the food, the quality of the food, and also the food combinations. What food you're eating with what kind of food? Sleep is crucial according to Ayurveda, and what I have seen in my clinical experience, if a person can sleep better, kind of 50% of their problem is at least, at least for the time they're sleeping, they won't remember what is happening.
It's one of those things nowadays. People I speak to don't have time to sleep.
Yes, absolutely. We're becoming so digital.
Well, it's nowadays with the internet and most companies working 24 hours a day.
Yes.
There is no time for sleeping. Just there's loads of people who've come on and asked, how does one become a Ayurvedic practitioner in the UK?
To become a fully, as I said, there is one route that you can take to become a therapist. So there are a number of courses that people can take, but these are all private courses. We do not have a central education body, or we do not have a single course which is run by any university. We have small courses which are provided by really dedicated Ayurvedic practitioners, and many of those courses are accredited. So you can go and become a therapist. To become a therapist is very easy. To become a practitioner, you'll probably have to go to India, because at present we do not have any course that is running in the UK.
Is any training that you provide that the viewers at home who are interested in may wish to contact you on?
Again, I can train people on a therapist level.
Okay.
But when we talk about practitioner level, then they have to go back to India.
So if someone wanted to move into this holistic approach, what advice would you give them? Where will they start their research on what to do, what courses to go to?
To become a practitioner, or to want to use the medicine?
Both.
Right, okay. Well, there are a number of Ayurvedic associations here. So I'm part of Ayurvedic Practitioners Association, so you can connect with them. There is another association called BAAP, so you can connect with them. I know there are one or two more organizations, but look on those organizations. They normally tell you what courses which courses are the good courses that they're providing. So that way you can start your journey, look and do some research and ask the practitioners who are practicing in that field. So for example, you can come and ask me or any other practitioner that you see where they did their course from. And for the other thing that you have asked me regarding if you want to start using holistic medicine for either for your medical condition or just to uplift your health, again, do your research. And actually you can go to these associations and they normally have list of practitioners who are practicing. So they will have list of therapists, they will have list of practitioners, and you can find the one which is nearest one to you and go and connect with them.
Oh, thank you much. And I just want to do a shout out for Anmol Dolat. Thank you much for your comments on our show. Guys, if you've got any questions that you wish to ask Dr. Anish, please give us a ring on 0208 707 3227. That's 0208 707 3227. Just continuing this conversation about Ayurveda, where are these medicines made from?
So most of the Ayurvedic medicines are obviously grown in India, but they are sourced from other parts of the world as well, and very few grown around in Europe, but it's mainly they come from India.
So what is inside these medicines? Is it?
So the Ayurvedic medications, they have herbs, mainly plants, and they may have minerals. And as I said, there are metallic preparations, but we are not allowed to use them here in UK, so we do not get them here.
And just wondering, a few people have said, what are the side effects of using Ayurvedic medicine?
The side effects are really far and few, and that is only when somebody is self-prescribing. When people are really, they do not understand, and they are going and buying things over the counter or buying literally from grocery stores, because some of the medications are food supplements as well. So when they're doing that, then it's little difficult. You know, then we can't tell the quality that they're buying.
And how does someone know what's a genuine Ayurvedic product and a non? Is there some sort of association that hallmarks it? I know for doctors and medical professionals, there's a doctor's trust and everything. Is there something similar for the Ayurvedic? Charter mark or something?
We have in our association, which I am part of, Ayurvedic Practitioners Association, in that we have approved suppliers. So suppliers who we know are good quality, provide good quality products. So they are listed, and you can check those on the association's page.
Do you mind sharing that website with our viewers?
Yeah, it's called apa.org.uk. So you can go and find out all the information regarding Ayurveda.
And in terms of benefits, can you, without naming people, can you talk about some past patients that you've helped and what treatment they've received, and also how they improved?
Sure. So I'll give you an example of one lady who came. She was in her late 60s actually. She was almost 70, and she came with real chronic chest inflammation. She has never had clear sputum in her life. It was always, she said, I've always seen it greenish or yellowish. And within literally 15 to 20 days of me doing her treatment, she said, I've never felt this good ever before. My chest feels clearer, I can breathe better, I feel good in myself. So that was one of the cases that I felt really happy helping her. Another example would be a patient who was down to go to see an IVF consultant in order to get pregnant. And she came to see me, and we started treatment called Panchkarma. And she was due to go to see this consultant in 2 weeks' time, and she fell pregnant naturally. So I'm very happy she has a baby boy. So it ranges from all sorts of conditions that people get help with.
It sounds like a very good success, and thank you very much for helping those people out. How much would it cost to have a consultation? Or how much does Ayurveda in its own world cost?
So I have to tell you, it's a private medicine, so you have to pay for it, as it's not included on NHS. But people charge different prices depending from area to area, and also the number of treatments that you do. For example, I recommend series of treatments. So if I'm recommending massage for somebody, I'll be recommending a week's worth of massages, or at least 4 treatments. So then obviously the cost will depend on that. But it could start from anywhere from about 35, 40 pounds, half an hour, 45 minutes consultation, going up to 100 pounds or 150 pounds.
So it is one of those things, sometimes you have to pay for your treatment.
Yeah.
I was reading once a saying, you either pay the farmer or you pay the doctor. And I think it's someone with Ayurvedic website as well.
Yes.
But if someone wanted to contact you directly, how would they, what would they do to contact you?
Okay, so my website is www.ashishveda.uk, so you can connect there. And there are links there. You can just send an email and connect, or you can also call on 07779 711 615.
Well, apart from Ayurveda, is there anything else that you do?
I do.
Please tell me.
So as I said, I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I am a herbalist. And I have also done a number of trainings for massage in pregnancy. Recently I completed masters in NLP, so I do NLP as well, and hypnosis, and also EFT, which I've done over a long time. So there are range of things, and yoga as well, so I'm a teacher trainer. One of your
trainees actually just texted me saying that she does it, you trained her.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's Manisha. from Birmingham.
Yes, yes.
So she said that she knows you.
Oh,
So
thank you, Manisha.
so tell me about what's NLP for those who are not aware of it.
You know what NLP is.
I know NLP, but for those who don't know what NLP.
So it's neuro-linguistic program, and that's my special interest in mind, because I know that presenting complaint is never the complaint. There is something else going on a deeper level. So what I want to know more about my patient's health, that what if back is hurting, that is not the only thing that is affecting their standard of living. So NLP looks at what is going on a mental level. What are your belief system? What are your values which may be affecting the way you are suffering from a medical condition? Because two people may have the same medical condition, but they may not necessarily be suffering in a same way. So NLP looks at that and then helps you mentally to deal with it, as well as how we can incorporate those tactics even when we are going through Ayurvedic treatment. So NLP, yes, I'm incorporating that especially in my work with fertility a lot.
So it's to do with the mind, the body and the soul, isn't it? So
absolutely. It's all connected.
If someone wanted to talk to you about certain therapies and certain elements and how going forward, what would you recommend for them in terms of people who are shy and people go, I don't want to do this because they're showing their vulnerableness, their fears, and
sure.
How do you talk to those people who are like, no, I can't do this, not because they don't want to do it, it's because they're scared?
Yes, I mean, I would say please come and see me. I don't look scary. But no, you have to make first call to connect with me, and then we can have a quick chat. And then my consultations are very detailed, so we can have a good look at everything that is affecting you. And that there's nothing to be scared of Ayurvedic medicine or herbal medicine or anything natural where you want to start your journey, because I think one of the fears that people have is they think that they will have to stop doing so many things because they have to become so good to be able to use herbs. But that's not always true. But we can discuss about it and have a long discussion and chat.
Just want to say thank you very much to Zumzum for lighting a message on there. So thank you very much for that. Just coming back on to Ayurveda. And you mentioned that you curiously moved from Ayurveda and added on NLP to it, which is something not many practitioners or therapists do. But what made you link the two together?
I have been interested in mind for a long time, and I wanted to even become a psychologist or a psychotherapist.
Don't.
Now I know, and I didn't. But NLP, I've learned from Mr. David Key, and he's a fabulous trainer. But I'm really interested in the tools that we can give, the practical things that we can tell people to help them in their daily life. Personally, I'm not really interested in going back too far in kind of murking the mud again. Yeah. So looking at the old scars which are healing, and I don't want to pull them again. I want to give them, something to do from now onwards, which is going to improve their life. And I think NLP is much better at doing that. So that's what attracted me towards it. And I'm really glad I did it, and also especially hypnosis. And I'm realizing that my natural way of talking to people is quite hypnotic, and it's actually helpful. So I'm really looking into becoming a trainer in that as well, and using as part of my work.
You've mentioned quite a lot about communication, about talking. What other tools do you use in your practice?
I listen. In terms of talking, it's my patient who does the talking, and I'm a good listener. So it's about the cues that they are giving, not just in terms of their language, but in terms of their body language, in terms of everything that they're not telling me, but just the words that they're using. So it's a communication on every level, and connecting with them, and so that they can, even when they don't tell me that that's an issue, I can understand that that's an issue.
You talked quite a lot earlier on about breathing.
Yes.
How important is breathing in Ayurveda, in NLP?
So breath is life, yeah. we hold our nose and I think we'll be dead in a few minutes. So breathing, as we say, it's also called prana. It's the essence of life. Without breathing, we will be, of no use to do anything. So not just breathing, but breathing in correct way and breathing very well. Most of us are not breathing very well these days, and also the quality of air that we are taking in it's not the best. So yes, I do recommend breathing techniques as part of my work. So my patients always go away with some breathing techniques. And it's the key to make any change on a cellular level. You have to breathe deep.
It's amazing that how many people I see, for myself, when you talk to them about breathing, they breathe, but they don't breathe.
Yes, it's only when you tell someone, they become aware. Otherwise, person never realizes that they're shallow breathing. And you know how breathing is linked with emotions. Yes, so
especially
in your work.
Anxiety.
Exactly, yeah.
Just want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to Devinder from Brisbane as well. Thank you for liking our page. If you've got any questions, any thoughts, please do not hesitate to go from there. Dr. G, just clarifying a bit more about your herbalist. Please talk to me about that.
So I'm a Western medical herbalist also, which means...
What's a Western...
So I trained in this country to become a herbalist. So I studied in University of Westminster. So it's a 3 years degree, and then I did masters in Glasgow. And which means that we use plants from UK and Europe, and there are some Indian herbs that we use, there are some American herbs that we use as well. And the main preparation in that is liquid preparations, which we call tinctures, which are alcoholic preparations which we use. And there are a number of herbs which are given as infusions. But there is no body work that is involved. There are no massages or treatments involved. It's only literally taking medications in.
So why did you spend 4 years of your life doing that when you already...
6.
Oh, sorry, 6. Sorry, my apologies. 6 years of your life doing that when you're already a professional in Ayurveda and you've got NLP. How do you fit it all in?
I did somehow, but I did Ayurvedic medicine in India. When I came here, I didn't want to start straight away in Ayurveda because I didn't know the country. I didn't know, even though we speak the same English, but still it was so different. And I wanted to do something which was recognized here. I mean, with hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done it. There's no need for an Ayurvedic doctor to come and do another thing. They can literally just practice with Ayurvedic medicine. But I'm glad that I did because it really opened up my mind. It gave me so many tools because now I can use herbs of this country, but in an Ayurvedic way. So it has doubled my skill set. And
best of both worlds.
Yes, yes, exactly.
In terms of the time that you spent on it, and you spent quite a lot of time on it, well, everything you've done, and first of all, it was just amazing, awe of how much time and dedication you spent on becoming a professional.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of time and dedication. But there again, if someone is wanting to become someone like yourself, you might any challenges you just highlight that it can be quite.
Yes, I mean that's going to be hard, but you can always do things. I have done a lot of things twice and third time and fourth time, but you don't have to do it that way. But yes, I mean, I think if you are dedicated to any kind of work that you enjoy, I have always loved serving people, helping people and improving their health. So I think that's my main motivation, that I love when somebody says, okay, I felt really good. I felt better with what you suggested, whether it was medicine, whether it was some kind of advice, but I feel that gives me the best satisfaction.
Yeah, it's something that you've got to be quite dedicated to do.
Absolutely. I mean, because Ayurveda is not in the mainstream here, as you know, not included in NHS. You have to do a practice privately, which also means that I had to become an entrepreneur. I had to become a business person. So it is tough that way. But if you are really, as you say, you are committed, then you can, to put it in a very crude way, you can make a living out of it as well. But there are not that many practitioners who are practicing. So we have probably maximum in the range of 50 to 60 fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioners like myself.
In the UK?
In the UK.
So covering a population of nearly 70 million.
Yes, not many. But therapists are all around, because we see therapists who do massages and treatments, which is the main first point of contact for most patients.
And you talked about massages. What kind of massages do you do? Because I know from a medical professional there's sports massages, there's other various westernized treatments for massages. What's different? What's your massage different?
So there are a number of massages. We do full body massage called Abhyanga. We do massages with powders. We do massages with different herbal preparations. It's also something like porridgey kind of stuff that we make with rice, so you could be massaged with that. Then we have internal treatments as well, like colonic cleanse, which is like colonic irrigation, but not exactly that. We use a lot of herbs and oils with that. And one of the key differences is that these oils are herbal oils, and they're given according to your constitution, according to your body type. So I cannot give a ginger oil to somebody who is already a hot temperament.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a lot of thought that way involved.
So you tailor your
it's bespoke to every patient.
So what do you recommend for me?
I'll have to take your pulse.
It's going quite hard at the present moment.
So, but yes, as I mentioned before, people are divided into 3 main categories in Ayurveda, and then most of the people are double type, and obviously there is genetics involved, because we inherit some of these qualities from our parents, from their genes. And then how we then express these genes. There is one thing to have a predisposition, but then whether you will have the disease or not, it's up to how you live your life as well. But if you are a hot person, then to avoid chilies, to not be in a very heated environment, and not to wear very hot colors will be a sensible thing to do.
What's hot colors?
For example, red, orange, especially red. If somebody is already angry and you put red on top, it's like adding fire to fire.
Okay, so what colors should they be wearing?
They should be wearing cooler colors, such as blue, whites, to calm them down, which then takes us into whole new realm of gemology, and people use stones and all of that. That is the main reason. There is scientific reason that why we use those stones and colors and ornaments.
Well, you mentioned earlier on the program that if it's windy outside, you're going to feel cold. If it's hot outside, you're going to feel warm. So on that connotation and notation, colours that you wear potentially could affect you as well.
Exactly. You know how important it is in your work. You must have seen some people who suffer from SAD during the winter months. They just cannot stand those colours. Black can make you really depressed pretty quickly.
Just to clarify there, SAD stands for Seasonal Anxiety Disorder, not SAD, is it? Dr. Sheesh, I just want to say, first of all, on behalf of the channel, Southall channel, and the viewers at home, I just want to say a big thank you very much for coming in, answering our questions. People on Facebook, I want to say thank you to you guys as well. You've been a great asset. One person I would just like to mention is Rani, who is the normal host. She's unfortunately she's not here today. She's recovering from her operation, and we all, from myself and from the team of Southall TV, I would like you to get well soon and take over the hot seat, which is getting hotter every week. So I just want to say, if you guys wish to either be a participant on the New Day New Show, or you'd like to advertise in the show, please give us a ring on 0208 707 23227, or email at ranimalik@southalltv.com. Finally, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys, to yourselves, for coming and sharing your expertise, sharing your knowledge, and passing on the wisdom to all our viewers. And hopefully in the near future we'll ask you to come back.
Sure, thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hilarious.
Wonderful.
She's the most beautiful woman in the world.
Chocoholic.
Compassionate.
Always busy.
Fun, such good fun.
Loving.
Beautiful smile.
Funny, always funny.
Stubborn.
So embarrassing.
A very special person.
Selfless. Strong.
Tired.
Always bloated.
So tired.
Struggled to eat.
She always used to be full up.
She just often said, I don't feel right.
I wish I'd known.
I miss her. She's coming home today.
Ovarian Cancer Action has created the first dedicated scientific research centre in the UK, determined to find a cure.
With your help, all your sisters, daughters, grandmothers, wives and mums can keep on doing what only they do best.
Ovarian cancer, those words still haunt me. So please, help Ovarian Cancer Action continue their life-saving research so that others like me have a fighting chance.
To make a difference to families like these, we need your help now. Whether you want to help us by sharing the symptoms with other women, raising funds for our research and awareness work, or volunteering your time, working together, we can save lives.
Awakening is an event that allows people to see the real reason why they're experiencing challenges on a day-to-day basis. My favorite part of the awakening is when people realize how much their destiny is in their hands. Awakening is a platform where you come and connect with people and understand how you might not be alone going through the family issue or the work issue or the relationship challenge. And by connecting with real people, having a real conversation, we can really create real change. Decision creates destiny.